Well, welcome to a new Harry's Garage video. We're not in the garage. I'm just up the road from the garage at the Farmer's Dog, which is owned by Jeremy Clarkson. And we did a video together on Range Rovers a couple of years ago, and it seemed to go down very well with the audience. So I thought we ought to do another one. And I was saying to Jeremy, we both run around in 10-year-old Jaguars. Here we are testing new cars, but actually behind the scenes, we're not buying new cars. And the car industry at the moment, in 2025, all sorts of things going on. And I find it extraordinary, this push to electrification, and then it's plug-in hybrids, and there's cars all changing. But actually behind the scenes, Jeremy and I rock around an older 10-year-old car. So why is that? So I'm going to get Jeremy to come over, and we're just going to talk about the car market in 2025 and discuss things like peak car, where Jaguar is heading, that sort of thing. Should be fun. Well, Jeremy, thank you ever so much for letting me come round here, invade here on the day off. Well, it is, isn't it?
It's
It's ridiculously local.
Yeah.
About a mile and a half away. But come here, because we've both got these Jaguars.
Yeah.
And it's a bit daft, isn't it? Because we drive around all these new cars, but actually behind the scenes, we're in 18-year-old Range Rovers now, I think.
Both of us have
Yes.
very, very old Range Rovers, and both of us have. How old's that?
Well, this isn't quite as old. That's why 2018, that one.
So
I'm
I've
7.
never known, since they stopped having A, B, C and D.
I know.
I don't know how old that is, 8 years probably?
Would you think that's 2013? Which would actually
13,
make it quite old, wouldn't it?
Is it 2013?
That's quite early, yeah. It could be into
What do we know,
40.
220? It could be 12 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
But you see, this is the thing. It works.
Yes.
And therefore there is simply no reason for selling it. I get into it every day. Sometimes the vent thing creaks a bit when
Yes.
it's coming up, but other than that, it works all the time. And I adore the F-Type, so I just thought I'll get one. It was £20,000, 20,000 miles on
I think you
the
did a
clock.
deal on it, didn't you? 'Cause
No.
You did it. I thought you did it. No?
No, I mean, I've been looking in Auto Trader
Yeah.
and various other websites, and the going rate for a car of this type, this kind of low mileage, is about £20,000. And
It's nuts.
I mean, I was so startled to find that you could buy this car, which is a £100,000 car,
Yeah.
£20,000. I just thought, well, that's obvious. It's an obvious thing to buy.
Yeah. Well, what was the trigger? Why did you suddenly say, I want to get an F-Type?
Well, I've always liked them, but then I took one to Mauritania on the Grand Tour,
Yeah.
and I thought it would fall to pieces. Because you sort of have Jaguar's reputation lives in everybody's head.
Yeah.
But is it a fair reputation? And it transpired as I drove across the Sahara Desert.
Yes.
It isn't a fair reputation.
Yes.
Because that car, it was unbreakable.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been you who told me when I got back
Yeah.
that Jags have to, look, JLR
Yes.
has a quality test, side-swiping curbs and things
That's
like that.
it.
Were designed for the Range Rover.
Well, for Land Rover, yeah.
Yeah,
it
for
was.
Land Rover.
Yeah.
But Jaguars have to pass the same test.
Yeah.
So this, you can drive it into a curb at 40 miles an hour, and it must be able to survive that.
That's it.
As I discovered in
Yeah,
Mauritania.
yeah.
It was unbreakable.
It's a
So-
shame because they could have done Dakar versions or rally versions
did.
of it. Well, you did
I
it.
did,
You
I built
proved
one.
it. Yeah.
And then, but no, this was, when we got back, we had to film it out of sync, so we had to get another F-Type for a studio segment. And it was this one, and I said to the guy who brought it, how much do you want for that? And he said 20,000, and I said, okay, done. And
Did you want a white one?
no, not particularly, but I don't really mind. Oh, I'd love to meet the man who owned it before me,
Yeah.
because I have the greatest of admiration for him, because he plainly wanted an F-Type,
Yeah.
and he was properly just about able to afford, not the V8, he got the V6.
Yeah.
And then this has more blank switches than I've ever seen in any car. Cruise control, no. Seats
No
and
cruise
manual,
control,
no button for
no.
making it noisy.
Oh,
There's-
no.
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 He literally
It
went,
is
how many
base.
options do you want to tick? None.
No.
I've just made it to the car,
Yeah.
and I
that
really
was it.
quite like this.
Yeah.
I actually quite like its poverty
It's got-
spec.
But it's still electric roof and things like that.
Oh, yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
the roof,
Yeah.
anything that was standard.
Yeah.
You can drive along up to 30 miles an hour and lower the roof, and I think the backrest is electric, but to go forwards and backwards
Yes.
is manual.
That's the same with my Project 7 actually. Yeah, I have to manually forward it and the backrest is electric. What's
Yeah,
that
I don't
all
know
about?
why.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But I mean, it's just a fabulous car, and it is I know you have a lot of cars.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Yes.
But this is, I use the Range Rover on the farm
Yeah.
every single day, and I use this for anything in Oxfordshire. You know,
Yeah.
coming here
Yeah.
on a day like today.
Your commute here is pretty special, isn't it?
It's the greatest commute, and I'm going to say in the world. from Chadlington to Burford.
It's not far, but
It's
good.
your road.
Well,
Well,
it's
it was
your
actually
road.
my road to start with
You
on
told me
Performance
about
Car.
it. Yeah.
We used it on Performance Car magazine. I just found it by accident one day.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, what a
Yeah.
road. You're using it all the time now, and it's my commute.
And it's also Aston Martin's test route, and it's Jag Land Rover test route as well. So all
And when Arrows
concept.
were
Yeah.
in Leafield,
Yeah.
all of the guys who worked at Arrows drove down that road like their trousers were on fire. It's the most. If you weren't doing 120, you were going to be overtaken by everybody
By
all the
everyone.
time.
Yeah.
No, it's a cracking bit of road.
Yeah.
Lovely
Yeah.
bit of road.
Yeah. Well, I went slightly nuttier on the Jaguar that I bought, actually. I rather
Well, you've
wish...
got you've got an F-Type, haven't you? You've got the
Well,
one.
I've got a Project 7 and then a Project 8, and it's this bit silly. I wish it probably has 20,000 of options on this. Well, probably a bit more.
I mean,
actually.
I remember driving that and just thinking, what a fantastic car.
I
still think it.
I think it's just not what you expect Jaguar to do at all, and
No.
it was just bonkers. But we all talk about it's turned up to 11 and things. Well, this is turned up to 12 or 13, wasn't it? It was a little past 11.
It was a very, very cool car.
And I was behind the scenes quietly involved with this, just an outside advisor. And I thought I could see the writings on the wall, and Jaguar was never ever going to do anything like this ever again. And that's sort of main reason I did it.
No, I mean it's a hell of a thing to have,
Yeah,
and it's we are driving Jags, which is also important. And
Yeah.
I've got a convertible.
yeah, which is good. I didn't realise you like
No,
convertibles.
before we started filming, I should say, Harry said, "Oh, you're not really a convertible man." I thought, apart from the SL, the SLK, the Gallardo, the GTS 355, and there was another one. I can't remember what it was. All my cars are convertible. Even my Lancia Monte Carlos.
I suppose so.
Quasi
Yeah, you still
convertible.
got that, haven't you? Yeah,
still got one.
the one I missed was the Gallardo because it was in and then it was gone before I actually got to see it. So
My
I didn't
one.
realise. Yeah, didn't
No,
realise
I had it
Spider.
grey with orange seats and made the stupid mistake of specifying a manual.
Yeah,
And there was literally nowhere to put your left foot when you were driving
yeah.
along. It was an undrivable car because of that.
Right.
Undrivable.
yeah.
So I didn't keep it very long, much as I loved it. And I love V10 engines
Yeah.
and a V10 convertible. But these
Yeah.
days,
It's-
maybe I'm
you're
just
not-
old, I just put the roof down on that. And as I've
It's-
always said, if you've got a convertible car, once you're going above 40 miles an hour, there's so much going on.
Yes.
You may as well have an MX-5, frankly,
Right.
because I see these people in Rolls-Royce convertibles, or you just think, well, it
There's-
doesn't make any
no,
difference.
that's
It's like when you're
silly.
being attacked by a lion. All you can think about is I'm being attacked by a lion. You don't
Right.
think, well, my trousers look good with this jacket. You're being attacked by a lion,
Yeah.
and that's what it's like to drive a convertible. So you may as well just have anything, really.
Yeah. I think four-seater convertibles are questionable.
Oh, no,
actually.
no, definitely
Yeah,
not.
No, I don't think they're right.
Nobody, apart from Hitler, ever looked good in the back of a four-seat convertible.
And he looked a bit silly as well.
And they do. You are an idiot sitting back there.
Yeah. So
No, it's got to be a two-seater,
yeah.
and
can
I
hear
can't
the
think of a
clogs.
better two-seat convertible than this one.
I had a BMW Z3 3-litre straight six, which I actually really enjoyed, and I get the Mickey taken out of me at Evo. But it was just enjoyable because it's when you've got an electric hood, it's up and down. If the weather looks iffy, it's back up, and it's lovely. It's just like adjusting the heating or something.
And you're just.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of buying another one because I want to play around with it a bit.
just V8.
No, I would never have a V8.
No.
I mean, obviously, of course, I prefer a V8 to a V6.
Yeah.
And particularly this V6, which is a V8 with two
Yes.
cylinders cut off it.
What's that all about? Yeah.
And it's forced induction. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just think Jag never got the colours right. And I
Very
want to buy
little
one and
choice.
paint it Tonga green,
Right.
because I think that would look quite good with gold wheels.
You could do a rap on it, you know.
Oh, I
You
don't
could do
like
that.
raps.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't know.
Yes, I
Jeremy,
do know.
I can tell.
No.
Just take to Litchfield. They will. Or Topaz. You would not know.
Paint. Old school.
Well,
Paint.
I don't know. Well, yeah. Anyway, I
I
look
might paint
forward to
this
green.
one.
Yeah.
Just because I would love to see what this would look like, Tonga green.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'll look really good. You get
Which is
rid of
the
the
colour
black
of our
wheels.
Range Rovers.
Is
Get rid
that-
of the black wheels.
Yeah. So you just have one touch-up paint for all the cars.
Yeah. Well, nearly all my cars are green.
Yeah.
Those
Shades
green.
of.
Yeah,
Shades of green.
Bentley's green.
Yeah.
Mercedes is green.
I forgot about the Bentley.
Yeah,
the
with Bentley's
600.
that goes to
gross.
London. Yeah, that I like to wake up every morning and think, how much have I lost today on the flying spur?
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Well, if you don't sell it, so you never
I'm never
lose.
going to sell it.
Yeah.
I would see me out. As my
Yeah,
grandfather used
yeah.
to say, every time he bought a Bentley, well, this one will see me out.
Anyway, I think we ought to talk about Jaguar and where they're heading, because it's quite interesting. Jaguar is a completely different company from when these were, and
Yeah.
where it's heading, I think it's madness. I think it's commercial suicide where they're heading with pure electric at 120, 130,000.
And the rest, I think.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the design because it doesn't compute this long bonnet and electric.
It's really
and
long.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
mad
the
when
wheels
you see
are
it.
truly huge.
And upright grille, and it's meant to be slippery to go through the air, and just weird. The bit but you know, they're talking about 2030, and it's hard to predict the future. But the rebranding and the changing all the fonts and getting rid of the
no,
crowd, I hate that.
I don't see why they're doing that. But my initial reaction when I saw the advertisement that didn't have a car in it was,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Yes.
But we remember, of course, the outrage that it provoked.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, nobody was buying these, or XJs. Well, nobody
Just
apart
me.
from you.
Yeah.
You know, and you haven't got an XJ, and they weren't selling any cars. So
No.
I don't think there was any point going down that road,
Right.
because the road had come to an end for Jaguar,
Yeah.
I believe. So they had to change direction. Now, it's all very well saying, oh, pure electric, does that work with Jaguar? Here's the fact that lives in my head.
Yeah.
63 million people in America, predominantly along the coast, in the wealthier areas, voted for Kamala Harris. That's in America. That's their
Yeah.
biggest. That's their biggest market,
Yeah.
and they've got 63 million people of that disposition who are likely to look favourably on an electric car.
Yeah.
And the idea of an electric Jaguar, hey, that's quite cool. So I can see there is a market for the thing that they've made. I'm not going to buy it in a million years. Never buy an electric car. But I can see why they would do it.
Yeah.
But most of the people, let's not forget, who took to their social media,
Yeah.
had an X-Type, or one of those god-awful things that was supposed to put us in mind of a Mark II, but didn't.
Oh, that thing. Yeah. All
So-
type. Yeah.
I honestly think that given where they were, they had no choice to go down that route. No, listen, I'm never
Yeah.
going to buy one. You're never
No.
going to buy one. I don't even want to sit in it or think about it because I
No.
don't like electric cars. But I can see their logic.
The logic. What I discovered with Jaguar is that there is bioresistance to the brand. As soon as you say Jaguar, my argument was if Jaguar had produced, Porsche didn't exist, and they produced a GT3.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not buying that. It's got an engine in the wrong place. It's got a bloody Jaguar badge. That's
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
be rubbish.
Yeah, they-
and it is. What is it?
Well,
with
I had
people?
that, as I was saying earlier. I had that exact mentality. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I don't want an F-Type, it'll break down. It will be funny to take it across the Sahara
Yeah.
because it'll be endlessly good television.
Yeah.
It was magnificently boring. It didn't. And then James's Maserati was literally
just
falling in
apart.
half.
Yeah.
That Aston,
Yeah.
whichever one it was, DB9, I think, that,
Yeah.
that Hammond
That
had.
yeah.
His brain went mad.
Yes.
And every morning I went out,
press
and
key,
off
off
I
your
went
head.
in it. And
Yeah.
it didn't squeak or
Well,
rattle
it is
at all.
really is. Well, I mean, it's a bit like with our Range Rover. We haven't really. You've had turbos, but I haven't. They've been fine. But yeah, Jaguar, whatever. The bioresistance was extraordinary.
I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more.
They
I
would do-
couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and they said, "Well, I can't buy a Jaguar. What would everybody think if I bought a Jaguar?" And I think it's so sad. It's a British disease, I think. We like to, we champion. Oh, we're rubbish, and the French just love buying French cars. Italians
Yeah.
love their Italian cars. British, oh, it's British, must be rubbish. I'm going to
Yeah.
buy a BMW. Because if you're in Italy and you build cars in, well, Bologna, Turin, Maranello, it's such wonderful places and eateries. You're just in a happy place to start with, aren't you, I
Yeah.
suppose? So that's,
I mean, you can remember that Ford Mustang promotional video where they had Martha Reeves doing Dancing in the Streets on the production line. Again, look how great we are, look how
Yeah.
happy we are.
Yeah.
No, we're
No,
not.
no, it's time for a strike.
We're not. Let's go on, but you know.
Yeah,
But there's
sad.
nothing actually wrong with the cars, certainly since post-BL, that they've
No.
been making. But I definitely suffer from the disease.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
they had
wouldn't-
to break it, I suppose.
You've seen that?
I know.
But look what we have.
Oh,
For
it's a
just
tent.
such an eventuality.
Yeah.
The pubs, we're having a new bar fitted in the pub, so we can't go in
It's
there.
slightly busy.
But the Grand Tour tent is still available for comment.
It is amazing. And you're having live bands here, I hear.
Yeah, Fridays
I
we've
haven't
got
been
live
up.
music.
Yeah.
So it's get that view. It's nice to get the old tent out of retirement, really.
It's done amazing. How long is it? It's a year, isn't it? Is it you've been
Yeah,
open
we've been open
a
a year.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're not open on Mondays, which is why.
Yeah, it's quite
We're
quiet
able to
today,
accommodate.
isn't it? Yeah. How would you describe your first year then as a publican?
Fraught, but it is covering some of the losses in farming.
It's sad, isn't it? It's always next year on the farm, isn't it? Oh, you wait, this is going to be the year.
Here's what I've discovered, the stupidity of what I've done.
Yeah.
If you have beautiful summer like we've just had,
Yeah.
it's fantastic for the pub business. Garden is full all
Yeah.
the time. But the farm, hopeless. If we get, a traditional British summer, great for the farm, terrible for the pub. So I can never win here. I'm never going to have. It's either good for pubs or good for farming.
But the thing with the pub is it's constantly trading. The thing with the farm, I find, it's one product you produce once a year and you have to wait for it. And, oh God! So I found that with the magazine. They used to do another issue each month.
Well, it's like, I once described it, imagine if a dentist only did one filling a year.
Yeah.
He wouldn't, I mean, I've been farming now for 6 years.
Yeah.
So you like to think, okay, I've been doing everything for 6, but I haven't. You do everything once. So I've ploughed once. Well, I've ploughed now 3 times.
Right.
That doesn't make me an expert ploughist.
No.
So, and it doesn't really, even a farmer who's been at it for 60 years
suppose
has
so.
only harvested 60 times.
Yeah.
Well, a
Yeah.
dentist isn't going to be qualified after 60 operations.
60 fillings, no.
A brain surgeon, well, this is only my 60th. Can we get? And it's the funny thing about farming, you can do it 60 years and still have only done it 60 times.
Yeah. Or it's not good when the weather isn't behaving.
But anyway, we're on the wrong channel.
We are.
We've gone into farming and it's cold.
I think we just ought to talk about what is happening in the industry. We've been lucky to be reviewing cars for a while now. I think we can count it in decades, can't we, really?
Certainly count it. 40 years I've been doing
You're
it.
40.
Yeah.
I'm the
1984 I started, so it's 41 years I've been reviewing cars. Yeah.
You're 10 years ahead of me.
Long time.
Impressive. Have you ever known a time of change like we have at the moment?
No. No, because I was trying to remember the other day, what's been my greatest drive over those last 41 years?
Yeah.
And one of them was definitely driving a 1964 Alfa Giulia Spider, not the Spider, the one before it, down the Amalfi coast.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible car, really.
Yeah.
And the road's not very good.
Not great down there.
No, it's not a great road. But even if you're driving through Wednesbury on a wet November morning and you're in a Ford Puma, you like to think that that's the dream you've bought into, that you're in an Alfa on the Amalfi coast, even though you're not in an Alfa and you're in the West Midlands.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I actually believe, and I think car designers and engineers have all had that dream in their head.
Yeah.
And then even if they were designing a taillight for a Nissan Juke,
Yeah.
and they thought, this could be fitted to an Alfa. And I think everybody's lost it now. I think they've lost that idea that a car represents freedom, glamour, speed, danger. They've lost the sense of that.
Yeah.
Be it through legislation or a shift in public perception or whatever it might be, the car is no longer viewed as something that's exciting. or something that you should even own, really. And that's represented in the amorphous blobs that are passed for car design today.
I think I would agree with that. It's a shame. I don't want to agree with it. I'm sort of in blinkers. I want to keep the excitement going. But I think car manufacturers took the focus of actually what the customer required, because they were so focused on what politicians were driving them to. And therefore the driving pleasure and the escapism went out the window. Oh, we've got to get this wrong. If we're going to sell it there, we've got to do this, fit that, go electric. Oh my Lord. And they forgot what the car should be celebrated for. Because I think we are lucky to live in the age of mobility. You go back 100, 150 years, or 200, we didn't have the mobility. We went on a horse, didn't we?
I did that programme, Who Do You Think You Are? And they got my family tree back to 1700.
Yeah.
And there was me at the bottom, and then obviously my mum and dad and their mums and dads, and all the way back to 70. So probably 2,000 names, I guess, on the piece of paper. Every single one of them was born, married and died within 12 miles of each other. And that was, when people say they're Yorkshire, I go, not as Yorkshire as me. And cut me in half and I'm a white rose, I literally bleed Yorkshire blood. In my generation, I don't think any of them live in Yorkshire anymore. No. So, because as you say, we were able to move, and nobody did. No. Back then. Nobody did.
And that's why I think the car should be celebrated. We should celebrate the mobility it has offered us.
But I think yes and no, because mobility puts me in mind of the Honda Cub, the Citroën 2CV, the mobilisation of the masses. Yeah. For me, the car was always more than that. Though, when I first got my driving licence, I hankered after a Ford Cortina 1600E.
Right.
And, because for me, the car was something more than a means of getting about. Yes, it afforded me great freedom, but there was something more to it than that. And I've held that belief all the way through my career as a car journalist. I've always believed that the car, I'm on the Amalfi Coast, and this is an Alpha.
Yes.
Even though it isn't.
I get that. And the other bit I love to celebrate is design.
Yes,
because a car stands sitting doing nothing an awful lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you just glance away and say, oh, I love that, that's mine now.
Well, I like looking out of the window at that. I've always said, when you lock it at night, you get home from work, you lock your car, you look back at it.
Yes.
And I always look back at the F-Type. I know it's a reasonably familiar shape now, but I always, and there's a guy who works for me who sometimes turns it round in the drive, and that really infuriates me, because I like looking at its arse, not its front.
Well, I remember it was actually Ian Callum told me, he says, the front's the easy bit because you have a family face and therefore you don't. The rear of the car, that's the difficult bit.
Yeah, that is Callum, isn't it?
That is Callum, yeah. And it's a beautiful arse, isn't it?
It's a very, and there is, I banged on when I first reviewed it about how small the boot was, particularly if you have a spare wheel.
Yeah.
Good. Post your suitcase to wherever it is you're going, and then have an F-Type. I'm sorry. Yes, it's a microscopic, but it's a joke. Yeah. But if it was practical, it wouldn't look like that. So I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you.
Yeah, they have to look right. And that's why we celebrate Italians' design, genuinely, because they really cared.
They do care.
Yeah.
They do care, particularly with their supercars.
Yeah.
I think Ferrari's losing it a bit now. I think they're getting too heavy looking.
Yeah.
Big and heavy.
Well,
I think that's why their F1 car doesn't. If you look at their F1 car compared to a Williams, the Williams, obviously they're the same size because they have to be, but the Williams looks dainty. Looks like a water boatman. And the Ferrari looks like a frog.
Yeah. It's dainty doesn't come into F1 cars anymore, does it?
But if there was a daintiness in current F1, I'd say the Williams has it. The McLaren does to a certain extent. But the Ferraris definitely don't. They look bulky.
Yeah.
But it isn't just that, though. It isn't just. And I do blame governments for the decline, because by law you must perform, this is their quotes, perform a series of functions before you can turn the speed limit warning off or the lane departure warning. Now, of course, you have to turn those things off. You have to before you set off. And when you drive a different car every week, I know this doesn't apply to everybody, it takes me 10 minutes to work out on those menus how you do it.
Yeah.
And that drives me to distraction.
I can't tell you how much I hate it. I feel I have to tell the audience how many buttons you have to press, because it is something you notice every single day. Because it's as soon as you turn the car or stop, you've got to do it all over again.
Exactly, you fill it with. I was driving a car the other day and I managed to get it all off, and it took me forever to turn them off. I went to fill it with fuel. I didn't dare turn the engine off. I filled up with the engine still running because I couldn't be bothered to go through all the buttons again. And it isn't just those, but I think once the glass screen became the cheap way of providing, buttons effectively, then they've gone berserk.
Yeah.
The M5 I had a couple of weeks ago, the new M5, you get into that screen, you've got probably 30 different, effectively, apps, 30 different symbols which you can scroll along, and then you go into each one. The options in there, the options are insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never mind what colour interior lighting do you like, or do you want us to mark you on how good that last drift was? I know they're fun things, but you used to have a button that made your car uncomfortable. It was sport. You pushed the button and it was uncomfortable. But then they went, no, but what if you want it to be comfortable but the engine to be sporty? In that M5, the options were just lunacy.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. It's like having graphic equalisers on 70s hi-fi.
Yes.
You were never quite satisfied. You'd get it just right, sit down and go, no, too much treble, and then you'd be up again. No, too much bass. No, my mid-ranges. And so you were never happy. And it's exactly the same with a car that enables you to change every single aspect of that car while you're driving along.
Yeah.
Not that you can, because with right-hand drive, you're having to use your left hand.
Yes.
And I'm right-handed, so I'm not as accurate with my left hand as I am with my right. Therefore, you're always hitting the wrong thing. Then you leave your fingerprints all over the screen, and you can't see what you're doing. And I don't want any of it.
No, I think we're more exposed to it because we're rocking around in 10-year-old cars. So it has none of it. And so I think, why do I want all this? I never asked for lane departure. I like blind spot and stuff like that.
Governments were responsible for these, safety regulations and the speed limit warning thing. Governments did that. But once the car makers had the ability to put all these features in a car, i.e. you just basically you can do it on a laptop, nobody stopped and said, do we actually need this stuff?
Yes.
Because that's the other reason why I have an 18-year-old Range Rover and, as we've just discovered, a 12-year-old Jag, is because it's got buttons in it. Now, I know they're expensive to fit buttons to a dashboard compared to a glass screen, but if I want to change from the navigation to music or turn the heater up a bit, I don't have to go into a menu. No. I just do it.
No, I could catch on. I really worry about that sort of stuff.
It's one of the reasons, I said when I packed in the Grand Tour, one of the reasons that I did was because I was just not interested in electric cars. And I saw that was going to be the future. I thought, well, how can I be enthusiastic as I drive along when this damn thing's not making any noise? So I'm not going to do it.
Well, I'm finding they're really hard to write about or do an entertaining video, because what do you talk about?
Well, I had that Renault 5, the electric Renault 5 the other day, and it was I thought it was a cracking looking little car, and I really liked the splashes of yellow inside it, and I thought that's really nicely done. Yeah. If only it had an engine. Yeah. All I kept thinking was, imagine if they put an engine in this, how fantastic it would be.
Yeah.
So, but I got to the point now where I'm thinking, I'm 65. I'm not sure I need to buy another new car, and if I did buy a new car, well, I just wouldn't want a new car because I wouldn't be asked with all of its features.
I think the car industry is terrified because we're not alone in this thought. It is becoming a struggle. They're having to discount like hell to move electric. I think, unfortunately, electric is not happening as fast, especially in the UK. So we're meant to be going to this to 80%, aren't we, by 28? It just isn't going to happen because I think they have been seen by the early adopters. There are some, it suits them absolutely fine, and Renault 5 and things like that, but the bigger than Taycan, the bigger premium electric cars, buyers aren't going back because they've got the fingers burnt on depreciation and things. They found about range, they found about charging away from home at crazy pence, and it's more expensive to run. I think, I'm not doing that again.
And
it's going to be very hard to get them back.
Giles Corran, you're never going to get him back in an electric car.
No.
And this £3,750 grant if you buy an electric car, which it turns out isn't available for any cars not currently on the market, because they have to be made in a factory that hasn't been invented yet, because it's made of rhubarb.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's a ludicrous. Government interference in markets rarely works.
I think
as
it's
we
a
know.
disaster.
So
Yeah.
it's trying to force people to do something they don't want to do. And I mean, I don't pay as much attention to the car market now as I used to. But I'm starting to hear pushback, am I, from the German makers saying that they don't really want to do this electric thing.
I've got a video coming up, and I keep meaning to do it, but there is reversal. There is serious lobbying behind the scenes, because they realise if they don't change, we have no industry in Europe,
Yeah.
and we have mass unemployment and bio-resistance, and we're just opening the market to the Chinese.
Oh, BYD
Yeah.
are going to come in, and we're all going to be driving a car called the Dolphin.
Who wants to do that? But
Oh, me.
the talk I'm hearing is they want the guillotine 2035 drop-off of no more ice removed, and they say, hang on a minute, we're going all this race into sustainable fuels, e-fuels, so therefore we're allowed to do that into the future, so why can't we do that with internal combustion cars? So it's the fuel that potentially is the issue. So that's what's going on in the background, I am hearing.
What, trying to get yeah, but if we can use those green fuels,
Yeah. So
you're
it's-
not really damaging the environment.
No.
But the other way of dealing with it as well
Yeah. Is to carry on.
is to just drive old cars.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're actually quite reliable.
They
And I
are
think there's
now,
such a
yes.
thing as peak car.
Yes.
I think in the olden days, the controls were on the outside and they had running boards.
Yes.
Pretty terrible.
That's not
And they were
peak
pretty
car.
terrible until NVH was addressed. And then they got to a point when they were very well made. They had sat-nav, they had air conditioning,
Yeah.
they had roofs that you could fold away while you were
Yes.
driving along. They reached a point when they were offering everything anybody could reasonably expect from a car.
Yes.
And then it's all now gone electronic, and it's idiotic. I don't necessarily mean electric propulsion, I mean the options. The BMW M5,
Yeah.
going back to that, when you move the air vents, you do it electrically now, and there's a little LCD readout to tell you what you're doing, but you know what you're doing because you're doing it. So
Yeah.
it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
And it'll just break, because they just do. So, peak car, I think, came, and I can't quite pin it down, but about when that F-Type was made. Maybe
Yeah.
for the 5... Actually, Lisa's Range Rover doesn't bong at you, but it does have automatic dim-dip headlamps, which simply don't work.
No.
So, I think it's pre-Lisa's Range Rover, whatever year that is. And about then, about 10 years ago, if you were to
Right.
buy a car from 10 years ago, it would be reliable, comfortable, refined, well-equipped, fast, relatively economical, and spectacularly green, because nobody's had to build you a new car.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying I always thought peak car was actually earlier. I thought it
You?
was 2000, in the 90s, 2000. But
Oh, I don't think NVH had been
no, let me
addressed.
finish. I've got my McLaren since 2015, and I'm finding that it's altering my view of new cars. Because I think, hang on a minute, is it any better than my McLaren?
No.
You know, I had a 296 in. Oh, those buttons and the madness, and I don't actually need 800 horsepower. And
No.
and I think the marketeers, and especially with electric, what do we do? There's 1,000 horsepower KN doing the rounds at the moment, Disguise.
No, not
and I had
interested.
trying an electric Macan
God,
turbo,
sounds
and it's ridiculous. It's unsafe.
I
It's
think
so
it was it
fast.
the Ferrari 599 GTO.
Yeah.
Or was that 600 and something horsepower? I think that was the first car I ever drove, road car, I ever
Yeah.
drove and thought, this is too powerful.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
too
they
powerful.
are angry. An 812 is bloody angry.
And it
car.
was, you could never use full throttle in any of the first 4 gears for more than a second and a half on any British road.
Yeah.
I'm not dual carriageway, you could, but normal roads. So I remember thinking then, okay, we've reached peak power. I think 550 is a nice amount of power.
Yeah,
That sort of area.
I'll go 600. I got
Okay,
600.
no more
angry.
than 600.
Yeah,
that is quite
getting
angry.
greedy. Yeah,
I mean, when I had my CLK Black, it was incredibly susceptible to tyre wear, that thing.
Yeah.
And when the tyres, which not visually, they looked fine, but
all
when they'd
inside.
gone off a little tiny bit, my God, it was an animal. On the coming on the Oxford Ring Road on those roundabouts, whoa, shit, oh God. And trying to accelerate, it would snake up the road.
Yeah.
And people going, that man's a maniac. So that was
Yeah.
sort of borderline. I can't remember how many
Yeah.
But I didn't put my foot down in that F-Type.
yeah.
Pretty much. I just say, oh, that's fun, and it makes a nice
It's
noise.
nice noise.
Yeah, so
I-
I'm not really frightened.
No, and I like being supercharged. I didn't know I liked supercharged engines so much. They just suit cars. There's a lot of turbos, and makes nice noise.
Well, you can drive up to very high altitudes.
I hadn't thought of that.
Well,
Well,
that's like-
oh yes, because you've tested that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
tested
yeah.
that and wished I had a supercharged engine.
Yeah.
So in the
So-
old Range Rover, but
So we're peak car 2015.
15, I think is about right. 2015. If you were to buy, was the original M2 out then?
Yeah, it would have, but you can get them.
Because I think because I really
An
like the
M2.
original M2.
Yeah.
That was an unbelievably good
Yeah.
car. That probably is right there in peak car.
It
That
is.
is.
But the trouble,
looked
unfortunately, today's M2 is fantastic, but you
It
still
is.
have to turn a load of buttons on, and you still got all the screens and all the
Yes,
apps.
I know it's
But
it's got
the
all the
once
stuff.
you've
that-
done that,
yeah,
it's really quite fun.
It's a really nice car,
Yeah.
and it has that torque thing that gets you in the pit of your stomach, which you only have to move the throttle a tiny
Yeah.
bit, and that's
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
that's a
It is
nice
an
feeling.
exciting car. So that's my dilemma when we say peak car. Is
I'm
there
sort
are
of with
these
you though.
odd
I think we're in
exceptions.
agreement on this. I had been thinking it was a little bit earlier, but I think because Lisa's Range Rover doesn't bong at you any go over the speed. I think it's a 72. I don't know when
Yeah,
that would be.
22. Yeah, it came in. It was legislation for 23 where you had to turn everything off.
So it
23.
has to, whatever peak car is, it has to be pre that.
The
But
only-
then Land Rover fits that dim. Have you tried to use the
Yeah,
the
we've got all
automatic
that.
dim dip on a Range Rover?
Yeah.
It just can't do it. It turns it off. It sees a sheep.
I know.
And then
Yeah.
a car coming
And
the other way, it doesn't turn it off, and then you do it just as it goes. Oh, I should have done that, and you put them back
Yeah.
up and full again.
Yeah.
Toyota I was driving the other day.
Yeah.
It flashed up a message saying "Sit up straight." I'm 65. I'm not 9. Sit up straight, and then it said,
It's like being back at school.
"It was clean your teeth," and then there's another one that said, "Well, driver's face not recognised." Well, what do you mean? You don't know who I am? Good. And or keep your eyes open. I thought, well, if they were closed, which they're not, I wouldn't have been able to read the message. So, but that's somebody sitting going, oh, we can have
Yeah,
all
we
these
can do all
messages.
this.
We can do all this. Let's do it.
Or was there someone on
do it.
social media who put a smiley face in front of the camera so he could carry on, and it didn't? It said, "Oh, it's a smiley face. I'm fine."
It's an insane amount of things being added. I mean, you see it on
the customer
telephones
never
or
asked
coffee
for.
machines.
Yeah.
Everything you buy nowadays, they go, oh, it comes with an app. Oh, God, does it? That just means it doesn't work. And
Yeah.
they've gone berserk with them in cars. And of
Yeah.
course they will all break. And I know I'm sounding like a very, very old man. I'm sure we both of us
Yeah.
are. And it isn't as though I don't want to go back to the 60s. I don't. I do like sat-nav and I do like
Yeah.
air conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit of Apple Play every now and then. That hasn't got Apple Play though, is it? That one? No.
No, I don't like
No,
Apple
no.
Play.
No.
Can't be doing with it. I can Bluetooth my music into it.
Well, because you know the way here, but modern, navigation on Google or Waze is quite good. But anyway, I digress, because you're not doing big trips. You never go, you know where you're going in that car. So we're going,
Always. That hasn't. I don't think I've been out of Oxfordshire in it. As you said, goes to the brewery, pour another water, comes here in Burf, and it goes to Chadlington.
you'd be
It's a cost-
perfect for an electric car,
it's
but
a
you
cost-
wouldn't do it, would
It
you?
looks like a Cheshire car in that colour, but it's a pure Oxfordshire car.
Oxfordshire car. It stops at the border.
I was a friend
Yeah.
of mine. I was very much amused the other day, who mocked me mercilessly about having a white car in
Yeah.
the Cotswolds. What do you think
Yeah.
you look like?
Yeah.
And then I noticed the other day, his new Range Rover is white as well.
No.
Yeah.
Did you
it's-
buy an ex-police one?
No.
Oh, not good. So you
So we've arrived at peak car. which
peak
is
car,
good.
but are we? Does that mean that we should continue to test cars because there's going to be? We're still intrigued by what comes next.
Well, I started writing a farming column in the Sunday Times. That was during COVID, obviously, because you
Yeah.
couldn't test cars. And so that's why I did
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
And then when COVID ended and I could go back to... There were two things happened. Quite a number of readers said to me, you keep that farming column going.
Yeah.
And the other thing was that with the cars that were coming round, I, as often as not, couldn't think of a single thing to say about. I mean, electric cars, I can't. I don't know what a kilowatt hour is. I've never charged an electric car at a roadside station, and nor would I.
No.
Because it'd just be half an hour doing selfies, which I can't be bothered with anymore.
No.
So I'm just not going to drive them, and there's no point reviewing them because I don't know what I'm talking about.
But you're still actively reviewing cars.
Yeah,
So-
because I've got an M2, I had an M5, something to say, nothing good. M2, something
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
actually quite like it.
I had that I had a Toyota Land Cruiser commercial.
Yes,
we both
that
had
was-
one of those, and that was the one that had the really annoying ADAS stuff.
But plenty to say about it.
Yeah,
It's a very expensive van.
Yeah. So, well, they're a joy, aren't they? When you just can't wait to tell people.
No, exactly.
about
I'm
it.
looking forward to reviewing the M2 because I've got lots to say.
Yeah.
But 90% of the cars. I mean, okay, let's look at Ford.
No.
There was a time, I mean, throughout my entire life, and I do mean life, not motoring journalism life, Ford has always had a vast range of cars that you wanted to drive and own. You know, from Lotus Cortina right the way through to through Sierra Cosworths and to Ford GTs, and they were always made great cars. Even the Fiesta 1.1L, which was my company car on the Rotherham Advertiser, even that was how fast can you get it to go down Wickersley Hill? You know, it was a great car. That.
Oh, Fiesta ST was magic.
But that wasn't an ST, that was a 1.1L in 1978.
Yeah, right.
But it was a cracking little car.
Yeah.
Beige. And now, let's have a look at the Ford. I don't even know what they make. Capri. Have you driven that Capri?
I won't go. No, I'm not.
I know what I'm going to say. I could review it now, and I've never driven it or seen one. What were they thinking of the end?
You're good. But what I can't get over is they've got an 800 horsepower Mustang, and it's GTD. And you think it's a diesel.
Why did somebody not say, is that the right letter?
Why is it a D? I ought to know. I don't know, but that does look quite exciting. I saw, Chris Harris had done something with it.
But the European Fords, Puma.
Yeah.
I saw one in the car park here.
Yeah. I can't
Because
can't do it.
The little Puma, the proper Puma, the original Puma, was a great little car.
Yeah. I tell you one I had in the other day that you ought to get in. I was a joy. Morgan still had flaws, but it had. I didn't realise under a certain number, if you build under 1,000 cars, you don't have to fit any of the ADAS nonsense.
Yeah.
So Paganis and things and Koenigseggs.
Is that why the Revuelto?
Yeah.
Is
well, I think it was so quiet that you couldn't hear it anyway.
Because
I never turned anything off on that, and I commented that I really like this car because it might have ADAS, but you can't hear it.
Well, I said the same. It might be that I'm just too deaf. But
that wasn't exciting
when I was,
car.
it was just heaven, that thing.
Yeah.
I loved it to bits. And it was so icy when I had it. I mean, like mind-blowing, thick sheet ice on all the roads. It was 1,000 horsepower, whatever it's got. It was an absolute monster.
It was a proper Lamborghini.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And when I said, where are these electric motors then? One of the electric motors was to start the engine. I'm like, well, that's a starter motor. How can you say, it has the electric motors, there is one.
Yeah.
It's not really an electric motor in the Ed Miliband sense, is it?
But I think that's to wrap things up.
Car.
Why we're carrying on reviewing cars in this sea of stuff that we can't keep up with. Every now and then you stumble across a car, but bloody hell. That was good.
And that was.
And Revuelto is
I gave that 6 stars, which you're only allowed to give 5 in the Sunday Times, and I gave it 6 because I said they've gone nuts, so I'm going to go nuts. It was just epic.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and it was such a surprise.
Yeah.
Because I thought, oh god, it's going to be a hybrid, which just isn't, is it?
No, it was disguised. But it was a joyous thing, and it's too expensive, and it didn't have enough. I can find things, but my experience of it, I can't wait to get back in it again. If one was there, I'll have
and I'd love to drive it when there's a mu level above sheet ice.
Yeah. And I've had a year and a bit. I've done 5,000 miles in McLaren. Just adore it. And I was trying to think new cars. What was the other one? Oh, that Morgan was fantastic. Pagani. The new Vanquish. Have you tried the new Aston Martin Vanquish?
Yeah, no, I did. What did I have the other day? Because I was banned from driving Astons after I gave the DBX. I thought a fair review.
Right.
They didn't think it was very fair. And I didn't know I'd been banned, but I was. So I had one the other day, and I can't remember which one I had.
Had a big glass roof. Did it have a big glass roof?
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I can't even remember what colour it was. I remember I liked it. I can't remember what it was.
They make some really good cars. So that, I think, will keep us going for another 10 years or so, stumbling across these cars.
Yeah, if somebody... I tell you what I don't understand, and this is a message to the PRs in all the car firms.
Yeah.
A handy cut-out and keep guide for the motoring journalist, the elderly motoring journalist, how to turn everything off.
Yes.
Would really help. Laminated cars
is a disaster.
Obviously, you will be wanting to turn off the safety features. Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
That would really help because that would save a lot of time a week.
Yeah,
turning the bloody things off.
Or just clip a wire somewhere. Or you always used to have cars chipped. I think we'll have that removed.
You read almost every day now that the Range Rover's been stolen or whatever it has. Because these people are so electronically clever. They can go through a rear light fitting and open the doors and start the engine. You know, it's incredible. Surely to God, somebody out there under an arch somewhere, if you take a new car to them, is able to disable all of the safety features. But I put the feelers out. I haven't found anyone who says, "Oh, I go to a man in just off Westbourne Grove and he'll sort you out." So you take your new car there, and you just, much like you could with our Range Rover's seatbelt bonger. You turn that off.
I think, unfortunately, it gets a bit serious, isn't it? And insurance wouldn't get a bit upset if you had a knock or something. I don't know.
How would they ever know?
No. Well, I tell you what the other answer is.
I mean, we've just said which is a mistake, but how would they ever know?
Well, I don't know. But I think the answer is, I'm going to stick with our 2015. It's like a vintage of wine.
I mean, I genuinely, I am going to buy another one because I'll use that, but I'll put the other one in hermetically seal it. I'm definitely going to buy another one. I want to fiddle about with it as well, soften the suspension, paint it Tonga green,
silver wheels.
And I want to mess around with
gold wheels. You're going to have gold wheels, aren't you? Yeah.
I quite like gold wheels, but I do think they're quite fetching.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I mean, I'm pleased that you are still considering it. And I'm the same. I keep thinking I ought to be grown up and not get excited and go silly.
No, I do get excited, but not by modern cars.
By this,
I was only looking last night. This is tragic. I'm going to say it. I was looking at flared wheel arches for F-types. I've always liked a flared wheel arch. The Mitsubishi Starion, the Delta Integrale,
the box
Escort Cosworth. I love a flared wheel arch. Simply can't. Any car with a flared wheel arch is better than a car without. Now, I've been thinking about flared arches for that, and then the effect of the tyres and how you'd fill them and what have you. I might just buy a fun project for just mess around with it. There's the basic shape which works. I wonder if we could make it more exciting, because all those Mustangs they put flared wheel arches on, they look great.
Well, let's see. What if we get a deal for 2 and I could do the Project 7? We can boxed arts, the Oxford. We can do it. We'll do that. I tell you what, Jeremy, I think
rabbited on for hours.
I think it's pub opening time. Isn't
it is.
There is a pub.
Well, there is a pub. It's closed, tragically.
Yeah, we can open it. You've got the keys, haven't you?
I think I know how the beer pumps work.
No,
Are the pumps on?
They're annoyingly good beers you're doing.